So as you can see, we just got the tires mounted. Thank you to my friends over at Discount Tire. They always do a phenomenal job and they help me out whenever I go there. And so these are the Continental ExtremeContact Sport. They are 225, 45, 17 on a 17 by 8 inch wheel. So I'll get you some close-ups so you can kind of see how they fit on there. But we just wanted to go with something very functional and practical. It is her daily driver and I really want her to be able to have fun with this car and just be able to drive it the way that it's meant to be driven. And as much as we both like the stance cars with, you know, the extreme camber and the stretched out tires, I just think that for her car it just wouldn't do it justice. And again, I just wanted to have a lot of fun with it. And I think that by having a functional wheel and tire setup, it's just going to add to that fun to drive aspect. So that's the reason for the Meteor tires, just in case you're wondering. So before I actually go ahead and mount these on the car, I am going to be doing a wheel coating. Thank you to advice from my friend Brandon, as well as many of you in the comments on my previous video with the wheels. And I never want to come across like I'm stealing his video ideas, but he literally texted me and told me to do this. So I did end up buying the product through his Amazon link, so you got your 4% commission, buddy. Alright, so just looking inside the box here, this is the GYEON Q2 rim. And if I open this up, you've got some microfiber cloths here to apply the product. You've got this foam applicator pad, and then of course you've got the product itself. And just be careful because this is glass, so obviously don't set it somewhere where it could tip over and break because the stuff is pretty expensive. So two things really quick here before I get started. Number one, this is a really strong chemical product, so whenever you're handling it, just make sure that you're using good quality chemical resistant gloves, and also just work in a well ventilated area. If you skateboard and you've ever used shoe goo to repair your shoes, it's 100% that same smell, so it could give you a headache if you're not in a ventilated area like outdoors or in your garage or something. And then number two, I was reading some of the reviews on Amazon. One person said that they think that it damaged their plastic center caps. Now I have no way of verifying that, but just as a precaution, take your center caps out before you get started. The first step is to just thoroughly clean each wheel, and while the instructions recommend using a strong degreasing agent, since these wheels are brand new, they've never actually been on the road before, I think that I can get away with alcohol right here just because that's what I have on hand. And the only oil that could possibly be on the wheel at this point would just be from my hands, you know, just carrying them out from the car. But if you've already driven on your wheels and you need to thoroughly clean them, they do sell a prep product that's specifically meant for that purpose. Alright guys, so as per the instructions, we're going to shake the bottle and then we are going to apply a thick layer and then just wipe it off immediately. It's also important to note that we're in the shade here because you don't want this stuff to dry on the wheel. You want to be able to remove it while it's still a little bit wet, so just be aware of that. So it's kind of hard to see on this white wheel, but if I look at it just right, you can kind of see it on the surface. I would say that it's almost like a greasy kind of look. It's like definitely thicker than water. And so if you look at it just right, you can kind of see that it's applied and you can kind of see like the areas that still need some, but that's just something to look for as you're putting it on. So before I flip this around to do the back, I'm just going to remove the stuff that's already on the front here, just so that it doesn't dry here on the surface. And this is probably really the most important, is the inside of the wheel, because this is like the hardest to clean. And then pretty much on any wheel out there, I feel like the inside isn't quite as shiny as the outside, the face of the wheel, so that can make it even more difficult to clean. So I think that having this protection on here is really going to be helpful for just ease of cleaning and maintenance on these in the future. Alright, and then again, before this has a chance to fully dry onto the surface, I've got a clean cloth and I'm just going to wipe off all of the excess. So once you're finished with all four wheels, they do need to cure overnight, so I'm going to put these in the garage and we'll come back tomorrow and put them on. I'm so excited to see how they look on the car. Alright guys, so fast forward 24 hours, the wheels have had time to cure overnight and it's time to put them back on the car. So I already covered these in the last video, but these are just the hub-centric rings. Just don't forget to put those on there. That's just to ensure that the inside of the wheel fits perfectly on the hub that's on the car. So we got quite a few questions on the last video of why we would even bother changing the wheels and tires to begin with, like why not just keep the stock ones. Well, the stock tires were completely bald and they're dry rotted, and these wheels are only 17 by 7, so a very narrow wheel for what's supposed to be kind of like a sports car. I just feel like they just didn't look right, and as you can see, there's a huge difference with this wheel and tire that we got. Again, same diameter, just an inch wider, and just a more performance oriented tire. The other thing that I didn't really like about the stock wheels, like I said, they're only 17 by 7, so they're pretty narrow, but they also, the offset is like plus 48, and so you have these nice wide bulging fenders, but then the wheel is recessed like 2 inches in there, and it just looks silly in my opinion. So that's another reason for upgrading the wheels, to get a wider wheel but also a more aggressive offset that's going to push the wheel out more towards the body. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. The link for the wheel coating is down in the description, just in case you want to check that out for yourself on Amazon. The link will be down below. Also, just a reminder, next Sunday is going to be Keys Auto Show in New Jersey. I'll leave a link also for that in case you want to register your car. I'm not sure if I'll have another video between now and the car show, so if I don't see you guys until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.